Well, good morning there, P3 fans. And yeah, you get a special little bonus live video right after, off the heels of a WrestleMania live stream that we had. Casual Gaming Dad here with you, aka Tiger Bomb Tom. And still. That's all I'll say about that. Let's talk about this Raw after WrestleMania, because typically, historically, the Raw after WrestleMania is supposed to be a big thing. You usually get some new debuts or some returns, things of that nature. That's what we're going to get into. Was it worth it? Was the Raw really all it's cracked up to be? Before we get to that, let me thank the sponsors here. You got myself, Casual Gaming Dad. I'll actually be doing a stream over on my page here in about the next hour and a half, so make sure to come on over and check that out on Facebook or on YouTube or over on Twitch at Casual Gaming Dad 84. We also want to thank Gould Gaming for carrying the official Pittsburgh Pile Driver Podcast t-shirt, so thank you guys there. Those are my sponsors, so you can check out my merchandise over there and get yourself the P3 shirt over in my section of the shop. Also, we don't want to forget about Sean Tischler and his work with IWC Clearfield. So make sure to go check out his Facebook group page, IWC Clearfield. And, of course, would be remiss if we didn't mention the other two sponsors in contention for some of the best day of sponsorship we ever have. Poot the Bard and his YouTube channel, Poot the Bard, and Frig Off Ransom. So go check out their YouTube channels over there as well. Now, let's get into this Raw. Man, I'm going to say overall I was highly disappointed with the Raw after Mania. We'll talk about Mania this week on the podcast, I'm sure. I think the overall general consensus from what I've been hearing a lot of is night one surpassed night two. And the biggest thing about night two, and this kind of leads into Raw, was the situation with The Fiend and Alexa Bliss. That kicked off night two, and I think that just really left a sour taste in everybody's mouths and set the tone for the rest of the night of night two of WrestleMania. But I tried not to knee-jerk, and I wanted to give it a shot, and I wanted to see what happened. And we didn't really get many questions answered on Raw, so I'm going to circle back around to that in a minute and tell you everything else that I hated about Raw, and then maybe the one thing that I might like about Monday Night Raw, possibly, or maybe two. There was just a bunch of bullshit on Monday Night Raw. We got a returning Charlotte Flair that nobody asked for, and I mean, granted, Charlotte's kind of always, she can flip flop back and forth between being a heel or trying to be a face as much as she wants to. At the end of the day, the fans don't want to see her force-fed and shoved down our throats, a la John Cena, a la Roman Reigns. So it is what it is. Charlotte's here. Whoop-de-doo. So she's now inserted herself into the possibly into the Raw Women's title picture. No fucking surprise there. And then we got a returning Viking Raiders. Okay, cool. It's good to see them back. I hope they get inserted into the tag team title picture. Oddly enough, we did not see the U.S. champ, the new U.S. champion Sheamus, and we did not see the new Raw tag team champions AJ Styles and Omos on Monday Night Raw at all. Where were they? I don't know. It's the Raw after Mania. You figure you want to come out and say something. Nope. Just weren't there. No sense. Hashtag reasons. Don't fucking know. Then, speaking of the tag team champions, the former champs, the New Day, they took on Elias and Jackson Riker. It's whatever. I will say the one funny thing though, not funny, but the one little nice nod I'd like to see was Kofi and Xavier kind of giving a little nod to DMX, who sadly just passed away recently, so rest in peace. But if you didn't catch that, go back and watch that little before the beginning of the match there, whenever they were kind of jaw jacking back and forth with Elias and Jackson Riker. That was a nice little nod. They're very good at doing stuff like that. Whenever things like that happen, as we saw with like the ring gear with Brody Lee, or just they're very on point with the things that are going on. What else did we see? We got just there wasn't a whole lot of stuff to really be excited about. Later on in the night, we got a triple threat match to determine the new number one contender to Bobby Lashley's WWE Championship. That'll be happening at the next pay-per-view, which oddly is called Wrestlemania Backlash. I don't know why we needed to add in the caveat of Wrestlemania Backlash. Wasn't it always just Backlash? I don't get it. Again, hashtag reasons. I don't fucking know. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, Taylor. Hashtag reasons. And and no surprise, Drew McIntyre got the number one contendership. Whoop-de-doo. The one, and I'm going to use this term with air quotes, interesting thing that we might see is that at the end of the match, after Drew got the win, MVP's up on the ramp. And then we see T-Bar and Mace, formerly of Retribution. Apparently Retribution's gone since last week now. The Hurt Business has been dissolved, but potentially we might have T-Bar and Mace coming in and being part of a new Hurt Business. I don't get it, but the only positive caveat that I can spin from this is that maybe we will get Dominik Dijakovic and Dio Madden drop the stupid Vince McMahon fucking 5-year-old nicknames and actually be Dominik Dijakovic and Dio Madden. Or Dio Madden, I'm sorry, not Dion. Dio Madden. And maybe we'll get them out of their stupid Mad Max 2020 fucking post-apocalyptic get-up and actually look like normal human beings. Maybe. I don't know. Again, this is how they're suckering us in. They're just like, we're gonna give you a tiny morsel of hope. We're gonna make you tune in next week. Or, in my case, tune in, fast forward through the DVR until I find something that is actually like semi-worth like catching my interest, and then go from there. Also, speaking of things that catch my interest, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, they had some tag team match against Shania. That would be Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler, that ended in another why who fucking cares way. It was such a stupid angle, and it was pointless. Like, I don't get it. Just, again, I don't know. Rello says they're working with MVP now. It's been in speculation for weeks. I hope you're right. Again, I hope if the former members of Retribution are working with MVP now as part of the Hurt Business, I really, really hope that they drop the stupid Retribution gimmick. I really hope that. I really hope that we can actually get Mia Yim in and actually have her fucking do something. Because she was part of Retribution, and she did nothing. How many matches do you remember seeing Mia Yim in since she's been on Raw? I can't count. I don't remember seeing any. Maybe one? I don't know. I don't know. Again, like, Retribution, that's just... I don't want to get off on that tirade. Retribution could have been something better if they just dropped the stupid fucking, like, elementary school nick, slapjack or T-bar. Fuck that. I just why? Just why? Hashtag reasons. All right, and then we get to the one thing that's actually really worth discussing that kind of carries over from Night 2 of WrestleMania. So Night 2 of WrestleMania, spoiler alert, if you didn't watch it, sucks to be you, sucks to suck. It's been it's been 2 days now. Figure it out. Night 2 of WrestleMania, the first match that kicks off is the returning Fiend versus Randy Orton. Now, I was excited to see the Fiend get back into the ring, and I was excited to see the burnt Fiend. But apparently, through Fiend magic or whatever, he comes out and he's healed. Okay, I can suspend my disbelief for a little bit and be like, all right, the Fiend is supposed to be this like omnipresent force. I get it. I really did like that entrance. Again, this is kind of getting into WrestleMania, but it bears mentioning because it ties into Monday Night Raw. The rest of the stuff, the rest of Monday Night Raw, there was like really not a whole lot of carryover from WrestleMania, except really the Fiend, uh, and Drew McIntyre. That was really it. So again, Monday Night Raw was like highly disappointing in that regard. They didn't. I know WrestleMania is supposed to be the end of stories, but like they kind of didn't end. I mean, they started a new chapter of certain things, but like I don't know. It just, again, not connecting the dots. Fucking connect the dots, creative. God. Brello says Retribution was pointless to me. They didn't go anywhere. Let's see that again. They could have been something, but they weren't, because I don't know why they made them a stable in the first place. Surprisingly, because Vince McMahon is not a fan of stables, so it doesn't surprise. I guess it shouldn't surprise me that they didn't work out. But then again, you had the Hurt Business, who was quite possibly like, one of the best things about Monday Night Raw going on, and especially it being a stable, and they fucking killed it. I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't get it. All right, but anyways, getting back to the Fiend. So WrestleMania happens, like, the entrance is cool. The whole big Jack in the Box thing, I was here for it. I was pretty hyped. I could do without the freaking red light thing. We've talked about that before. We don't need the red light freaking the whole way through the match and stuff. I'm not a huge fan of it, but whatever. So at the very end, near the very end of the match, the Fiend is distracted by Alexa Bliss, who's sitting atop the giant Jack in the Box that he came out of, and she's wearing this like crown of thorns, and she starts bleeding black liquid or whatever. Shout out to Tom Savini, Pittsburgh's own Tom Savini, who has been working with Bray Wyatt, and his team has been working with them as far as the mask and the special effects and stuff like that. He worked with Bray and Alexa on Alexa's special effects Crown of Thorns bleeding nonsense there, which is cool. Hey, Sandy, what's going on over there on YouTube? By the way, I didn't already mention, but I mean, if you follow the Pittsburgh Pile Driver podcast, you probably are aware we are live on Facebook and YouTube, because that is my want and that is my wish. The champ has spoken. Anyways, so there's that. She causes a distraction, causes the Fiend to lose, and everybody's initial reaction, I think, and especially in this household, for me, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Why? What? Like, it fucking figures. Randy Orton wins, LOL. I don't get it. So after my initial anger, I'm like, all right, maybe there's something more long term with this. Let's stick with it. Let's trust that Bray Wyatt still has some sort of creative control with the character, and they're working with him. And let's see how this plays out. Let's see where this goes. So first, at one point earlier on in the night, we get a little promo from Alexa Bliss with Alexa's Playground, kind of highlighting the stuff like her journey through what has been going on since her initial possession by the Fiend, up to night 2 of WrestleMania, which I thought was actually really well done. It kind of took away my initial anger or whatever from the Fiend losing at WrestleMania. Again, just holding out hope for there's something more. And with Alexa's Playground promo, I think it gives credence that there could be something more long term. So just be patient. So that's a possible bright spot. If, again, as always, if it's done right. But she mentioned something about, like, basically it was the impetus of I was there was, let me tell you a story about a little girl who was lost, and then she was saved by the darkness, and she learned from the darkness and gained all this power, and then the darkness went away, a la Randy Orton burning the Fiend alive. And then it was but then she realized that she had all this power. Did she really need the darkness after all? So that's an interesting angle to me. I'm willing to see where it goes. But then later on we get Bray Wyatt in a Firefly Funhouse segment, and which was kind of funny. Poked a little. It had a little bit of fun with it, and the fact that Alexa Bliss is gone. He said, "But this is a whole new chapter. I feel reborn and this and that." So I'm not really sure where this is going yet. But if there is one sliver of hope that I can have for anything going on Monday Night Raw, it's Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss. As it has been for pretty much, the last 6 months or so? Between Alexa Bliss fucking with Randy Orton, playing all these mind games, and the Hurt Business, those have really been the best two things about Monday Night Raw for quite some time now. So, a pretty lackluster overall Monday Night Raw post WrestleMania. We didn't really get a whole lot of answers as to why things happened the way they did on night 2 of WrestleMania, especially with the Fiend. We didn't get any big call-ups. We got the Viking Raiders return. We got a quote-unquote return of Charlotte Flair. Basically, she was just absent for WrestleMania. Hashtag who cares. And surprise, surprise, Drew McIntyre is still right there in the title hunt. Overall, abysmal Monday Night Raw. The only sliver of hope to hold out for is to see where the hell this Fiend storyline goes. And that's really a fingers crossed holding on type of loose thread of hope. I hope they don't fuck it up. I really, really hope they don't. If you guys have any comments, any opinions on that, feel free to message the page. Feel free to comment on this video even after it's done airing. Let me know what you thought of Monday Night Raw. Did you think I overreacted? Was there more to look forward to? Did you think it was a good Monday Night Raw? And are you on drugs because you thought it was a Monday Night Raw? A good Monday Night Raw? I don't know. We'll be back later on this week with our normal podcast. We'll be recording Thursday night, and that'll get aired out to you guys like probably Friday or Saturday. So make sure to stay tuned for that here on the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast. We will be live over on my channel tonight, Casual Gaming Dad, on the Discord over there, playing some Among Us, me and the P3 boys. Although Beef may be slightly distracted because now NXT's on Tuesday nights, so God help us. Don't believe anything Beef says for about the first half hour or so of the game. Just to throw that out there. Speaking of Casual Gaming Dad and Among Us, we want to thank the sponsors. Our very own, me, Casual Gaming Dad. Don't forget to check me out, again, here on Facebook and YouTube. Over on Twitch at Casual Gaming Dad 84. Make sure you head on over to Gould Gaming. Check out my section of the shop where you can get yourself the official Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast t-shirt. We also want to thank Sean Tischler and his work with IWC Clearfield. And make sure to go check out his Facebook group page, IWC Clearfield. And keep up to date with any and everything related to IWC and when and where, maybe possibly that it might be coming back to Clearfield. Hopefully we'll be able to get up there for a live show sometime in the near future. Also, don't forget to go check out Poot the Bard and Frig Off Ransom. Check them both out on YouTube. And if you need a laugh, go watch Frig Off Ransom because his videos are always entertaining and always good for a good laugh. And Poot the Bard, he plays some games. He does some guitar stuff. Check him out. He's a very interesting guy. And, just one of the good brothers there. But that is going to wrap up this edition of the Morning After Raw. Hopefully we'll be doing more of these in the future because, I'm just getting more content on here on the page, and we'll see what happens. As long as my schedule permits, we'll keep doing it. Or maybe this will run the course a la the Sunday morning suplex. I don't know. We'll see. You never know. Just stay tuned to the page. Keep those live notifications on. Check us out here on Facebook. Check us out over on YouTube. Make sure to listen to the podcast. You can catch that basically wherever you get podcasts from, like Google Podcast, Anchor, Spotify. I can't remember where else, but just search it out. If you listen to podcasts, go search for the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast and check it out. Don't forget to go back and watch our live show from night 1 of WrestleMania, where we did our WrestleMania picks. Kind of talked a little bit about NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, both nights 1 and 2. That's really it. So I'm going to get out of here and go set up for a stream on my page over at Casual Gaming Dad. I hope to see you guys there. And guys, keep listening to the podcast. We'll catch you on the next show. Until then, have a great day. We'll see you later.